guys, welcome back to our channel. This is my second time filming this clip because my neighbors were making a ton of noise, so you haven't seen us in a while. We've been gone. I don't have an excuse, we've just been gone. You know, the world going through a lot right now, a lot of things happening. But if you don't follow us on social media, then you wouldn't know that I am actually pregnant. I am currently 19 weeks pregnant, 5 months. So this video is basically gonna be about my first trimester, what it was like for me, how pregnancy is treating me in general. And I said I was gonna start making these videos because I feel like there isn't a lot of information out there on the truth of pregnancy. Like, pregnancy is made to feel like this beautiful, painless wonderful experience, and honestly for some people it is, but for some people like myself it really ain't. I find pregnancy really annoying. If you didn't know, I didn't really want kids, and if you want us to do a video on how I found out I was pregnant and how we pregnancy reactions and whatever, then we can do a story time on that, like, you know, how Craig reacted when I told him because he wasn't with me, and how our parents reacted when we told them, and all of that. Then you can let me know, and we can get into, you know, how we felt about having kids before the whole ordeal, because it really wasn't something that we planned. But of course, you know, we don't regret the decision at all, and we're excited to be parents. So you guys see me looking down at my phone because I made some notes on my phone. Pregnancy brain is a real thing, not you don't remember anything. So I found out when I was 4 weeks pregnant. I literally found out the day after my period was supposed to come. So I didn't expect to be pregnant or anything like that. So morning sickness, or sickness, because morning sickness is not just in the morning. That is a scam to make you feel like you can get sick in the morning and then go about the rest of your day as if nothing. No. You're sick all day, every day, all the time. In the middle of the night, you're sick in your sleep, everything. You're sick all the time. Well, some people are fortunate enough not to get morning sickness, not to get a lot of pregnancy symptoms. I was not that fortunate. My mom is one of those persons. She never got any pregnancy symptoms at all. Her entire pregnancy, she was full of energy and glowing and all of those things. And I wish that was me, but it ain't. So my morning sickness started around 6 weeks. And it was just really random. I was just sitting down because I was kind of wondering how come I wasn't getting sick, because it is one of the things I'm talking about with, like, not knowing a lot about pregnancy. Like, I always thought that as soon as you find out that you're pregnant, or as soon as you get pregnant, you get sick. I never know that, you know, it can happen later down in whatever time, or I never know anything about different things happening in different trimesters and all of that. I never know none of that. So I started getting sick around 6 or 7 weeks. And it was really abrupt. It was like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I was just sitting here minding my business. I think I was eating a sandwich, and then it just felt like the whole world was coming to an end. It felt like everything was coming right back up, and it did. Right back up it came. My friend was here with me, Craig was here, and one of my friends was here with me, and that was me hogging up the toilet. And she was rubbing my back, and let me tell you, the pregnancy sickness, the vomiting, is violent. It's not like I would try to compare it to vomiting when you're hungover, because that's the only other form of vomiting I know. But this is it's so violent. It just feels like everything is coming up. You're just heaving. It's really unfortunate. I'm sorry for all who don't want to hear. This video is gonna be very TMI. There's a lot of things in this video that you might not want to hear. So if you're not comfortable with hearing about women's experiences and what happens to our bodies, you can click off of the video from now. So Yeah. At first I was getting sick all day, so I was gonna be like, I'd be nauseous. I'd be nauseous from like maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning straight back till in the afternoon. I'd take a nap and then I'd wake up and I'd be sick again. In the beginning, the baby was waking me up at like 7 a.m. Like I was literally waking up at 7 a.m. every morning between like week 5 and no lie, around week 4 and like to maybe around week 8 or 9. I was waking up at 7 o'clock every single morning. I couldn't, even if I had gone to my bed at 5 a.m., I was awake at 7 o'clock and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I would wake up at 7 o'clock and then I wouldn't start feeling sick until about 10, 11 o'clock. And it would just be nausea. Like it was just awful. I was, at first I was drinking like ginger tea and it was helping. I was drinking a lot of ginger tea. I was drinking ginger ale. Sometimes a little Pepsi would help. What else was I drinking? I think that was it. And then like I would start eat out. If I were to eat on a normal basis, then I wouldn't feel as sick, but at the same time the food was just repulsive. So it's like
even warming up food.
Yeah, like even warming up food, the smell of food, it was just all awful. So you'd want to eat and you'd want to be eating all the time, and I was eating a lot, but I would have to be forcing myself to eat. So that's how that started. And then I want to say around week 10 or 11, yeah, around 10 or 11, maybe week 12, closer to the end of my first trimester, I wasn't sick all day. I was just more sick in the early morning, like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And that's if I was awake. There would be some times when I would sleep through it, and there would be other times when it would wake me up, and I had to have a bucket at the bedside and Craig had to make tea for me and everything, and he will talk about that. He will talk about that in his portion, but because of course him have a whole side of the story to tell. Everything is very different from his side of the story, I can imagine. So I was getting sick at like 4:30 in the morning, those kind of hours, and then my sleep, like I wasn't sleeping for more than 4 hours at a time. So I was taking a lot of naps. I was really tired. That's something I can say. Like I was extremely tired. I was like always exhausted. I couldn't do anything. Like as soon as, like even something as simple as washing the dishes, I wash 2 dishes and me a blow. You know, just stand up and wash 2 dishes and me have to come sit on back like no sir, I can't do no more. I was just extremely tired. I think my body was rejecting the pregnancy. Like there were so many things that was difficult for my body to grasp. Like everything was just going wrong. I was really short of breath. I was having sinus issues. In the very beginning my skin wasn't great. Like my skin was not doing great in the very beginning. I was, you know, nauseous all the time. I felt awful. Like I felt useless because like Craig had to be cleaning the whole house by himself. I couldn't do anything. He had to be cooking all the food, doing everything. I couldn't do anything because of how exhausted I was. I was just tired 24/7. And I didn't really like it. Luckily I wasn't working in first trimester, so I was able to just rest. And honestly it was the best thing. Like as I said, I took a lot of naps and I just kind of ate and kind of just chilled out. And I'm grateful to be able to do that. So I think that was, yeah, that was my first trimester. I think, as I said, when I started getting sick in the early morning, the ginger tea wasn't working anymore. We had a new routine where I used essence of peppermint. Where would you get something like that? It's still at the supermarket. and in the pharmacy you can just ask them. You can ask them for essence of peppermint. It's basically, I think, peppermint essential oil, but it come in a large thing and it's cheap, so I don't think it's exactly peppermint essential oil. I don't know what exactly it is. I just know that it smells really strong, really pepperminty, and just the smell of it alone would help my nausea feel better, as well as Miss Birdie wheat crackers with cheese. So white cheddar or the regular yellow cheddar. So those were that's really all I wanted to eat at that hour of the morning, because I found if I ate anything heavier than that, I would just bring it back up. And sometimes I would bring up the crackers and the cheese. Like sometimes like it seemed as if I want it like I needed to be sick to feel better, because after I would throw up, I would feel better instantly. The nausea would go away for a number of hours and I'd feel fine. I'd be able to go back to sleep, anything like that. Now, as I was saying, like if I was able to sleep, then I wouldn't always wake up at 4 a.m. feeling sick. But if I was awake, without fail, I'd be sick. Oh, a bug. Oh, I only have 1 foot. Okay. So at around week 10, I started experiencing palpitations. Now I think that's something that's normal, because they say that your heart is pumping more blood or something like that to give the baby extra, something to that effect. If you know all the science, you can leave a comment down below and explain all of that. But if you Google it, palpitations during pregnancy, they basically explain to you all of what happens. Something else that I experienced was leg pain. I didn't experience it for long. I felt it every now and again, like a shooting pain down my legs. Every now and again, nothing crazy. I got some compression socks and they help. I haven't really been wearing them because place hot, and the compression socks, they're hot. But I should wear them. Next thing, let's talk about my sleep. I had already had issues with sleep. Sleep was always never friend. Now I can sleep in the day, but I can't sleep at night. Even if I didn't take a nap all day, I can't drop asleep until 5 o'clock. I don't know why. Pregnancy insomnia is a thing. It's very real. It's very annoying. But if I find if I take a nap, I don't fall asleep until maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock. If I don't nap, I can maybe fall asleep by 3:30, maybe. And that's no. Back then, I wasn't sleeping till 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Them bad hours them I pulled, because I just couldn't sleep. I'd want to sleep. I'd be tired, but I just couldn't sleep. I am thirsty all the time. I know that they say, as I said, we're thirsty. I know that they say that during pregnancy you're supposed to drink a lot of water, but I cannot help it. I'm extremely thirsty. My skin also has been extremely dry. My skin, my scalp, my lip them, my cuticle them, anything that is skin like, extremely dry. I never used to experience dry scalp. No, I have really bad dry scalp. I have to oil my scalp all the time. I never used to get like chapped lips as much as I have chapped lips now. Those kind of things, like my skin in general, like my entire skin from my fingertips straight down to my toes, have been extremely dry. I have to oil down every night after I bathe, just to kind of keep the ash at bay. And I think the thirst probably comes from that. I think it's maybe tied into that. Just the fact that I'm thirsty all the time, as well as the fact that my skin is always dry. Now, during the hours where I was not sick, I was eating like crazy. I was just eating eating, and it's strange because I haven't started gaining any weight. I think maybe now that I'm 19 weeks pregnant, but my starting pregnancy weight was 181, and when I finished my entire first trimester, I was 182. I literally gained 1 pound through the entire thing, and I just chalk it up to just, you know, the baby taking what it need, me throwing up, those kind of things. Like, maybe if I wasn't eating as much as I was eating, I'd be losing weight, but I was eating a lot. I was able to maintain my weight, but I wasn't able to put any weight on. Them say in second trimester you're supposed to put on something like a pound or a pound and a half each week. I will let you know how that goes, because even up to when I went to the doctor the other day, I never put on any weight. I didn't start to show until around 11 weeks, and I know that's early for some people, and my belly is really big now. I'll insert a picture of what I looked like at around 9 weeks. I don't think I have a picture of what I looked like at 11 or 12 weeks. I'm not sure. But I'll insert a picture of what I looked like around 9 weeks. Or if you go on my Instagram, I have a picture of what I looked like around 9 weeks. Like my first bump picture, it was at 9 weeks pregnant. Now my belly is really big for 19 weeks. Like, I have a large, I'm carrying really large, and I know that it's different for some women. What kind of reassured me, at first I thought something was wrong because of how big my belly was. Like, I was thinking that maybe I have a lot of water weight, or like I have a lot of amniotic fluid or something like that. But because I wasn't putting on any extra weight, I was thinking that maybe that's not it. I have no clue. Maybe my uterus just stretched. I never really look up. I looked up one time and they said that for women who have like looser abdominal muscles before pregnancy, which I did not have abs. For women that have looser abdominal muscles before pregnancy, usually they carry large. Usually their belly, they show before everyone else, and their belly, their you know, belly is bigger than normal. But I don't really worry about it. As long as the baby is fine, that's really what's important. It doesn't matter how big I am, because mega get bigger. The bladder, so that, I don't think that's different for everybody. I think that is something that is common across the board. The bladder weakness started for me, I don't remember when exactly it started. So initially, the first thing that started happening to me was I started to pee a little when I sneeze. So like, I would sneeze and a little bit of pee would come out, or, and this part is really TMI, like when I'd be throwing up, I'd be peeing at the same time. You can't really, if that's something, and in talking to my friends who have been pregnant, they said that it happened to them, so it seems like it's common. It made me feel, I think that was like the first time it was real to me. Like, okay, yeah, I don't have any control over what's going on in my body right now. I've been having circulation issues generally throughout. That might be because of my lack of exercise. I was doing some yoga before I got pregnant, and honestly, in the first trimester made me extremely lazy. First trimester, I could not do anything. I could not, like, I was just so exhausted, so sick. I didn't, there were days I never even get up out of my bed, so how I didn't feel bad. I haven't had any crazy pregnancy cravings. I can't think of any. Like some people eat some strange things. I have not had any crazy cravings. Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, there are things that I didn't eat before that I am interested in eating now. And things that I liked before that I'm not really interested in eating now. But nothing that's like a weird combination or anything that would be like, okay, only a pregnant woman would eat that or something like that. I've been wanting a lot of meat. I've been craving a whole lot of beef. Beef patty in the beginning. All I wanted to eat was beef patty. Cheese patty, actually. in the very beginning I wanted Devono's cheese patty, and then like a bit after that I wanted juicy beef cheese patty. And what else was I craving? I ate a lot of burgers. As I told you, I really wanted meat. I ate a lot of burgers. I've been eating a lot of cheese. I don't know if that's bad for the baby. I'm sorry if it is, but I ain't gonna stop, because cheese is so good. I've been eating a lot of cheese. I was eating a lot of burgers. Yeah, that's really what I was feeling for. Like those are my cravings. I was still eating other things, you know. I was still eating, you know, healthier stuff, and I was having a salad every now and again. Lettuce was really scared at the beginning of my pregnancy, is when lettuce did just start coming back. So it's not until like end of first trimester that they start buy back lettuce to be able to make salad. Because if you live in Jamaica, you know that lettuce was very scarce most of last year because of the pandemic, and it really just starting to come back now. What else? And the cravings changed very often. Every week I would crave something else. I was craving chilitos. I've been craving chilitos my entire pregnancy, but then I've been craving chilitos my entire life. So, and the last thing here on my list is constipation. No, I have never been constipated in my life. Like, I've had times when I wasn't as, you know, regular, but this level of constipation I've never experienced ever. Not once. It was painful. It was uncomfortable. Like, it was so bad. It was just like I would be there. I think the first time I noticed it, I didn't go for maybe like 4 days. Imagine that, 4 days. And you see, when I did sit down on that toilet, hell to pay. I was close to tears. I was making bare noise. I was holding on to the corner of my sink. It was just awful. I had to start like eating, you know, your granny tell you say if you eat banana and drink water and walk by your tippy toe, you're gonna do it did work though. So I started, and my mom gave me prunes. I bought prune juice and started drinking. My mom gave me like actual prunes, and she pureed them, so it was like a paste. It was like eating baby food. It was awful, but listen, it's what I have to do. Even up to now, it's still not as regular as I would like it to be, but what you gonna do? Like, it seems to be something that come with my pregnancy. So the constipation thing, I have it under control now, because I know that, you know, I just have to drink my prune juice, or I have to eat my prunes, and this is what my life has come to. So it's been a battle. My mind, like in my head, I just didn't want to be pregnant. I was okay with having the baby, but the whole process of like being pregnant and all of that, like just, you know, having to do this for 9 months, because as I said, my first trimester was awful. So just the thought of having to go through this for 9 whole months, it was just like, nah bro, I don't know how I'm gonna do this can't work. And there were times like when I thought, like, I was saying to myself, you know, I don't know why I decided to do this. I think around maybe week 9 or 10, I was just like, can I still get rid of this baby? Like, I don't know if I can do this, and I kind of just had to remind myself that I have a lot of support. I have a lot of people who care about me and care about this baby and will help me through my pregnancy and through birth and all of that. And I think that's what's really kept me going. I have a really strong support system, which I appreciate. So that's really what kept me going. But like, it took me a really long time to come to terms with the fact that I was not in control. Like, it took me a really long time. And there are people who, I know I've seen a lot of, you know, comments on other people's pages and stuff about people who are, what's the word? People who believe that you can control some of your pregnancy symptoms, which you can. There are some pregnancy symptoms which you can 150% control, and then there are some pregnancy symptoms that you have no control over. It just happens to you, and you kind of just have to make it happen and move on. For instance, morning sickness. I've never seen a remedy for morning sickness. 150%, yes, this will work for every woman. Remedy, them not have that unless them put you on medication, and even then. So it just took me a really long time to come to terms with the fact that I'm pregnant, okay, I'm not in control, okay, I need help. Because I've always been really independent, and me constantly needing help has been very hard adjusting. Me constantly not being in control, being such a control freak, it's been really like awful for me. You know, I'd make a plan and then all of a sudden the baby would have changed it because I'm sick or something like that. So, you know, like I'd get up one day and say, okay, I feel great, I want to clean, and the baby would like, no you don't, baby. So it was just, it took a while, but I think I'm at a better place now. I think I'm at a better place now. I'm very skeptical, very indifferent about pregnancy in general. I'm not really excited for anything. I should find out that we should be finding out the gender soon, so that is, you know, exciting ish. Not that it doesn't really matter to me what it is, like I love the baby regardless. Like I feel a sense of responsibility for the child. I know that it's my child, but for some reason, like I'm just not feeling that bond, and that's okay. I think as pregnant women, we need to come to, as women in general, as mothers, it still sounds so weird to me to call myself a mother. As mothers, you just have to kind of, we just have to kind of come to terms with the fact that not every mother is different. Parenting is different for everybody, and if you're pregnant and you don't feel an instant connection to your baby, then I think that's fine. You don't know the baby from anywhere. Like, yeah, you're making the baby and you know you feel a sense of responsibility for said baby, but you just, I don't know to explain like how I feel towards the baby. It's my baby. I don't want anything to happen to the baby, but I don't have this bond. I don't, you know, I wouldn't say, oh my god, I love you so much, and until I meet the child and I'm able to, you know, hold the child and just figure out how I feel. I think that's maybe when I feel different. I don't know. But yeah, that was basically how my first trimester went. I can definitely say that, as mentioned, the whole experience is strange, but I'm excited to document the journey and be able to like educate people on what pregnancy is really like my honest opinion on what pregnancy is really like. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be posting videos as often as we can, as often as I have energy. And as often as, you know, things happen. Yeah,